he was just pulling information out of his butthole. What's up, guys? Welcome to the AnimeAesthetic channel.
Welcome.
My name's Chris.
And my name's Nicole.
And we're here to discuss episode 3 of Dr.Stone season 2, titled Call of the Dead.
And just as a reminder, we'll be talking about the entire episode, so this is your full spoiler warning. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's see. My first overall thoughts of this episode. I love this episode. I thought it was really, really good from start to beginning. It was amazing. Like, I loved it. I don't think there was a part that felt like it was dragging or unnecessary. I think for me, it brought up like a lot of old memories. It was very relatable. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I have to say, like, for the past couple episodes, I felt a little guilty. I wasn't really into Dr. Stone for these past couple episodes, and I was kind of wondering, like, is something wrong with me? Like, why don't I like Dr. Stone? Like, I really like Dr. Stone. I know I like Dr. Stone. Why can't I like it? But yeah, I think it was a slow start, but it picked up pace, so I'm enjoying it.
I thought this was an entertaining ass episode. We had Senku being Senku, which is a goddamn genius over here. We had some heartfelt fandom, a new character. What's not to like? Visually, it was good, just like Dr. Stone always is. Dr. Stone has consistency, especially when you compare it to other anime, like Black Clover. I know it's unfair to compare seasonal anime to serialized anime, but honestly, Black Clover sometimes their
Oh my god.
characters just look so off model.
So bad.
It looks like straight up like an intern did it.
Yeah, and the intern did it like the first try. Like, they didn't even like retrace it or anything. Like, did you even look at the model?
All right, I'm done. I'm done throwing shade at Black Clover. Let's get back to Dr. Stone. So I want to talk about Nikki.
Nikki, dude,
I love this character.
Yeah, I really like her. Like, oh man, like this introduction to her like was so good. I have to say, like, just to start off with this whole episode about the plan. Like, the plan was, you know, to try to convert one of Tsukasa's members, which to me was just like, that's outrageous. How are you gonna convince someone who joined Tsukasa? Most of these people who joined, they're like gung ho. They're the physically strong type. Therefore, I solve my problems by fighting kind of people.
Right.
You know. So it's like, how are you gonna do it? I don't know. She's like intimidating. She seems very strong and diligent. So I was really like unsure about this. Weren't you surprised how fast they got into this plan?
Yeah, I thought this plan was gonna take like a while. I thought they're gonna set it up a little bit more, but we were like, boom, we're already getting into it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I totally thought that they were gonna be like, okay, Taiju and Yuzu here. They're gonna be like, okay, we need to profile people. Like, is this person gonna be a good join? Will this person most likely join? No, they're just like, all right, you, the guard.
Yeah, I just want to talk about her. I think she's a total fangirl, but this works so well for me in this episode. I really have a soft spot for true fandom. I love characters that are really like passionate about something. It's exactly like how Senku is with science. I feel that Lillian is Nikki's science. So I just love seeing that in characters, and it was really cool. Introduction to her.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Like, she seems so scary too. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
immediately, like, I was just like, she reminds me of Tsunade. Like she's the type of woman like you do not want to piss off. And, and she's gonna be direct. She's gonna be intimidating. You know, like what she said right away. Like, hey, hear me out. She's like, I won't. I was like, oh god, you guys.
I'm not here to be chummy with you.
Yeah, and I was like, you guys picked the wrong lady.
Mistakes were made.
Or at least I thought.
Yeah. At least that's what we thought.
And so, what are the chances? Nikki's a hardcore Lillian Weinberg fan. Geez, like, perfect. I don't know. You guys are so lucky. So lucky. I just love...
Lucky? Is that right?
Yes, lucky. I mean, it could have been someone else.
I honestly think this is a double-sided sword, but yeah.
Oh, maybe.
It is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, later we do see why she's a true fan. Like, instantly she went into like trivia time if you're a true fan. But I love how her emotions changed. You know, like she went from this like stone wall, and you know, like not even giving them an inch to talk about anything. But as soon as you brought that up, like her face lit up. She turned into a different person. And
oh yeah.
for me, that like resonated with me because sometimes I feel like when you're trying to get to know someone, it's really hard to get them to open up. But if you just get that one little piece that they're interested in, and they open up like a flower, it's like, oh, I didn't even know you were so passionate about this one thing. So I don't know. I think that's a great like bonding thing that they could build on. And she's a true fan. You see her in her flashbacks, laying on her bed, really listening to music, zoning out. For me, like when I said it brought back memories, like I was thinking of like your teenage angst years, your ugh, I'm so misunderstood, and I just want to listen to music by myself in my room, kind of thing. For me, what it brought back was like laying in my room, or even just being in my room and listening to. For me, was Linkin Park. Crawling, like watching in my skin. Yeah, like, and then I remember the music video so vividly because it was so like, edge all the way.
That's so edge.
That's
like definition of edge right
no
there.
one understands my pain.
Teenage soul right there.
Yeah, and it's just like this emotional turmoil that's inside of you, and you just don't know what to do. But that's about growing up. That's about life, coming of age. Yeah, it just meant so much.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah, this girl's a total fangirl, and I don't know, I just it resonated with me for sure. I love seeing that in characters. I love a character that's really passionate about something. And yeah, I feel like she's just that passionate about Lillian. So I feel like as long as Senku is good to her and he protects the CD with the power of science, she will be really loyal as well to the Kingdom of Science. Mm-hmm. But I feel like her fandom was, like I mentioned earlier, kind of a double-sided sword of sorts. But she's a double-sided sword that'll be, I hope, useful to the Kingdom of Science arsenal. I really loved how Senku didn't turn this into some kind of bargaining chip and instead told her he would protect it rather than holding it over her head like some kind of dangling fruit. It really shows how compassionate Senku really is. He really could, and he could have easily lied to her at that moment where she asks, is it possible to have the other songs be brought back? Mm-hmm. But he was honest with her. My dude, Senku, hell yeah, I love smart and kind main characters. I feel like it's really rare to have a main character like this, and it's refreshing. Mm-hmm. They're almost always kind, but rarely smart. I just want to go into next about watching how much fun I had watching her test.
Yeah, the test, it's so good. Go ahead.
So this actually just to me shows how smart Nikki is as a character. Mm-hmm. She could easily bought what they were saying as truth, like Taiju did, right? Mm-hmm. But she was immediately suspicious. Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of. But I just really enjoyed Senku using his goddamn Sherlock Holmes skills and the Fermi estimation to answer Nikki.
I don't know how he did that. I was so like, how are you going to figure this out? Are you going to show like a random number? But of course, no. There's some kind of science behind it.
Yeah, and I love this part. He was able to decipher the approximate number of copies sold using information he actually knows. It even goes as far as saying in the next scene, it shows a text between Senku's dad and himself. And they're talking about how Lillian got, how much she paid to get onto the spaceship. So he actually did know how much it costs to get there, and it just makes sense how he came to this conclusion. Mm-hmm. He doesn't just pull this information out of thin air because he's a genius or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And he should just kind of know this stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's so nice to actually have it be believable. So many times I see in like anime and honestly any type of media where these genius characters just kind of pull this information out of their butts, and then it's like, how did you even know that? I understand that you're a genius, but like, how did you know this? In the previous episode, I mentioned Alice in Borderland, and I think that show had problems, and one of the main problems for me was that he was just pulling information out of his butthole. All right, some light episode 1 spoilers for Alice in Borderland, but Alice, the main character, is able to solve the first game because there happens to be his dad's car, a BMW 523D, in front of the building where the game is taking place. He finishes the game because he knows exactly the length of his father's car. He knows it's exactly 4 meters, 94 centimeters in length. Like, what the fuck? Who even knows that information? Who even knows that information about their own cars, let alone their dad's cars? And his dad, keep in mind, is a total asshole to him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this would make sense if him and his dad were homies, like how Senku and his dad are. Like, maybe he would know that.
Yeah.
But to him, it just does not make any sense to me. So all I'm saying is that word up to my boy Inagaki, and this is how you write a genius character. Yeah. Ugh, God, so good.
Yeah, you build the character. I mean, like, I would have believed it, I think, in Alice in Borderland if they were close and maybe they worked on the car together.
Right.
I would have been like, oh yeah, that would make sense.
You're right.
Yeah, but they didn't even do that. The dad was like horrible to him. It's like, why would you like anything that your dad has? Like, why would you show any interest? So
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Oh man, this moment though, it was so good. The build up to it hit so hard. It's like right before this, Gen gives three pretty shitty options, right?
Oh yeah.
And this man comes up with a fourth, answer correctly. Oh, so good, so
Yeah.
good. Love that moment. I love that moment.
Yeah. That's definitely thinking outside the box, and I don't know. I liked it because you're kind of like, are you gonna guess? That's not very good.
And then one thing I just kind of wanted to briefly mention is that he reuses that Fermi estimation technique that he mentioned in season 1. So it's kind of a callback to that, as well as it being him estimating and just being a fucking badass genius. So let's go.
So after, after that initial test, there's another test that they obviously don't do that well on, and she's kind of, very suspicious, or they're losing her. They're basically losing Nikki, and they start to play the song. I think that part for me was another part where it just, the nostalgia comes back. If there's one favorite song you have, like it, I feel like it brings back so many memories. Like you think about the first time you heard the song, you think about where you were when you heard this song. When was the first time you saw your favorite singer or band when they played it live in concert? Like you remember those things so vividly when music means a lot to you. And for me, I was like, yeah, man, like when she was imagining that concert where she was, and seeing her and what the music meant to her in her life, it's like, of course this music is gonna change her. Like she will change for the Kingdom of Science for this.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
that's fandom right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
like that's true fandom. And then if you kind of put yourself in her shoes, like, can you imagine what it's like to wake up and you can't hear your favorite song anymore, and you might forget it because like you might never hear it again because it's all destroyed and gone. And here it is, this one song that you love by your favorite artist. That must be like amazing. And we take things for granted today just because, if you want to hear your favorite artist, you could pull it up on your phone, on your laptop. You can even watch live performances that people recorded. You can even pull up a live performance if you recorded it with your phone,
But they don't have that, right?
They don't have that. So
that's why this is so valuable, right?
Yeah. And then you really appreciate that. You're like, yeah, like music can change people. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And to leverage it for someone who loves, Lillian that much, it's so amazing. And I'm like, yes. And
she's gonna be loyal now, right?
Like she wants that, like more than anything.
And then Senku is not like holding it over her.
Yeah.
He's not like, if I might destroy this thing if you're not on my side, or he could easily do that kind of stuff. But he's not. He's like this man knows how to gain an ally, right?
Yeah. And still be, like human, like
being
like
a good person, being kind.
He understands that like this means the world to her. Like it's just this object that plays music, but to her it's her life. Like she can reminisce about her life before and how this made her happy. So it was,
and for him
so
to
good.
say like, I'm gonna protect this, that's such a good line to say to somebody.
Right. And she's never even met. She doesn't even know what he looks
I
like.
think she was like, I think I'm falling in love with you or something.
I love
like,
that part. Like Because of the
And he's like,
kindness.
no, don't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like, how could you not? Like he's so kind and smart, and I mean, look what
Oh, I
he
know.
has. Look what he has
My
already.
pants were already on the floor.
Take me, Senku.
Take me, Senku.
Yeah. So, welcome to the kingdom of science, Nikki.
If I could say one thing about that whole performance thing is, what is up with the lip syncing though? This is my only complaint about the episode. Probably.
Okay.
It's like they don't even try. Like the song is like in English, and then the lip syncing just does not match. In my opinion, it doesn't match at all. It's like they didn't even try. And then, like, it felt like this was like reused footage or something from another season or somewhere, or they just didn't implement it properly. It just didn't fit for me, I guess. Especially the part where she does like that JoJo pose where it's like,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, why is she doing this? And the song is like chill, right?
Okay,
it's
that's
like
so true.
it's like such a like relaxing song, and then you just see Lillian doing like a super lean back JoJo pose. It just did not fit for me, and it felt kind of weird. But I mean, yeah, it just seemed like a wasted moment here, and I felt like if it could have been such a cooler moment if the song just kind of matched.
Yeah. Or yeah, the animation just matched the tone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of agree, because like when she did that pose, I was like, she's singing a slow song. Why is she like crouching on the ground?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love seeing JoJo poses. It just didn't fit here.
Yeah.
And I just want to quickly mention Senku and Gen's faces when Nikki says that if she finds out
Oh,
that
yeah.
someone is pretending to be Lillian, she will make certain they are dead.
And the faces are so perfect. I remember
It
saying,
just like zooms in on her eyeball. It's so intense. This girl is fucking intense, and I love it.
yeah, I love it too. She's so good. I can't wait to see more of her. Great episode.
Great episode overall. I had so much fun watching this episode. I was feeling it. And this is definitely my favorite episode of Dr. Stone this season so far. I hope you guys felt the same way. And yeah, that's all I kind of have to say.
Yeah, same. I mean, if there's one little thing I'll add, it's just, of course, Dr. Stone with all the funny faces kind of sprinkled throughout the episode. The funny faces of Gen and Magma and Chrome, when they're all trying to run away in the beginning. I thought their faces were funny.
Yes.
So those are just a couple of funny faces that I just wanted to shout out to, because those were good.
Love the silly faces from Dr. Stone. So good. Such a good episode. It was good.
Yeah. And I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah,
So great episode. Looking forward to the next one.
definitely.
And,
really looking forward to the next one.
And if you guys liked this episode, we're trying something a little new. We're gonna just kind of go by episode now. So if you liked it, please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
We'd
Thank
really
you so
appreciate it.
much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for checking this out.
Yeah, we're trying out new things. So any comment, any feedback would help.
Yep. See you guys next time.
Next time, bye.
Later.